On June 18th, a parent reported their child was sexually abused at Willowbrae Academy Mill Creek Daycare. This government's legislation requires that the daycare operator notify parents. Willowbrae waited 2 months to notify parents of the incident and even then refused to say that sexual abuse had occurred. A private, for-profit operator has every incentive to hide incidents that threaten profits rather than protect children. Will the Minister of Education and Childcare admit that his legislation is broken and commit to ensuring that his department, not operators, notify parents of serious incidents at daycares?
The Honourable Minister of Education and Childcare.
Mr. Speaker, if there's more that we can do to provide information to parents, we're happy to do so. In this specific case, an allegation was brought before an individual and a criminal investigation was immediately launched, and the individual was immediately removed from the school. Of course, you have to be mindful of communication and opportunity in situations where there is an active police investigation underway. But of course, I think it's important for members just to see, of course, how the member opposite thinks of private entities. We believe that they're an important provider of childcare spaces, but I know the member opposite has disdain for them, as he's just expressed, and does not want to see them in operation, Mr. Speaker.
Edmonton Goldbar.
Given that the minister says he'll do anything except amend the legislation, which is what's needed to fix the problem, and given that parents deserve to know immediately if their children have been physically or sexually abused in daycare, but given that this government has been far more aggressive about forcing schools to report when a child wants to change their pronouns rather than when a child is assaulted, will the minister amend his legislation so that parents are told quickly and clearly when abuse occurs, or does he truly believe that pronouns pose a greater threat to children than sexual predators?
Yes. Minister.
What a ridiculous comment, Mr. Speaker. As I've mentioned, in this particular circumstance, an investigation began against an employee of this specific childcare operator. Police began investigating the matter immediately, and the individual, of course, was removed as a worker at that childcare centre immediately. As I mentioned a moment ago as well, if there are opportunities for us to strengthen enforcement and strengthen notice to parents, we'll be happy to do that to make sure that parents are fully informed. We'll always be willing to look at those opportunities.
Honourable Member for Edmonton Goldbar.
Yeah, given the minister says that the employee responsible was removed when what he meant to say was that he skipped the country and is now out of reach of prosecution here in this country, and given that as the regulator, the government's first duty is to protect children and ensure parents are warned when their kids are harmed or at risk of harm, will the minister commit today to amending the Early Learning and Childcare Act so that his department and not operators must notify parents when their children are at risk of serious harm, or is he going to let more sexual predators off the hook like he did earlier this year?